that you refuse to throw in the towel, that you refuse to give up. That I know when I go in prayer, I'm partnering with God. I am partnering with heaven's resources. His distribution center has my name on it. Every warehouse got my name on it. It know when to drop what. He said, but how many of us spent the majority of 2022 in panic mode? Because I know it, but then I panicked anyway. I say I trust him, but I panicked anyway. And all I had to do is tap into the garage in heaven. All I had to do was tap into my resources. But because I forgot that he was my source, I panicked. And so if nothing else, and you might say, okay, that's far-fetched. I've been giving up all year. So don't tell me don't give up. Well, don't give up so soon. I mean, we give up the first try. The first no, you didn't quit. Like, forget it. Done. I knew it wasn't going to work. And we start backtracking everything that we said. He said, I'm trying to get you to the place that I'm doing something new in your life. I'm trying to expose you to more. And for some of us, it's things that we have not seen, only things that we have dreamed of. And he says, in order for you to get to that place, I've got to stretch you. I've got to empty you out. I've got to destroy your little belief system that you think you can only go this far. You can only have this much. You can only do this much. He said, some of this stuff I got to tear off of you. Because if the reality is I get what I fight for, I only have it because I fought for it. I fought to stay in small places. I fought to be treated like this. How do I know? Because you stayed. How do I know? Because you let it happen again. And so I get what I fight for. I am more committed to the repeat cycle than changing me. Because the reality is I can't change you. Only person I'm responsible for is me. And I was panicking this little last season about all kind of stuff. He said, hey, only person can change is you. And I said, you sure right. Watch this. I said, watch this. Because the only person I can change is me. Only person I'm responsible for is me. I got an agenda less like everybody else. God has created an agenda for me, and I've got to stick to the plan. Roman numeral 1. And 9 times out of 10, Roman numeral 1 is saying an update on old business. Let's see how much of the old business you did. Let me see how much of the stuff that you changed that I told you to change the last time I talked to you. Before we can get to new business, let's deal with old business. And it's not until we sit in that meeting that we like, oh, I forgot. I said I wasn't doing that no more. I forgot. I said I was going to be on time. I forgot. I said I wasn't going to act like that no more. I forgot. I forgot I changed my character. I forgot that you got on me about that. I forgot. And he said, no, before I can deal with any new business, because we love talking new, but we don't want to be new. Now let's deal with the old business and let me see how much of it you have sustained since we've been apart. And then we wonder why our quarterly meetings have gone to monthly meetings, and our monthly meetings have gone to weekly meetings. Our weekly meeting, my God, you meet with me every day? He said, yeah, because your ability to hold what I'm giving you. That's why I'm trying to change your skin, because you're leaking. Fast as I give it to you, it didn't leak out. They had to open for the praise team yesterday, and I went by Luby's, and you know I don't like all my foods touching and stuff. But I didn't know that Luby's make you pack your own stuff. I said, oh Lord. Yeah, I paid for it. She said, yeah, the bag's over there. I said, oh. I said, note to self, I got to quit coming in. The bag's over there. It's what? To bag my own stuff. I ain't going there no more. But I went. I put my stuff in the bag. I'm excited because I can smell it. You know, you need some good cabbage and all that kind of stuff. Only to get to the office and realize my bowls was leaking. Just juice. Cabbage juice. Then mixed with collard green juice. Then mixed with tilapia. I said, oh God, help me. He said you almost got rid of it. He said, that's how I feel. I done bagged it all up and you let it leak. You let it just leak out. Fast as I didn't release an anointing on Sunday, by Monday it didn't leak out. And you paid a price to bag it. That's cold-blooded there. I done paid a price to bag it and lost it. Because I got to hold it valuable. I got to know that even when I order, it's going to cost me to take it away. I got to pay a price. I got to put my hands on it, bag it up, but it's still going to cost me. How much have you lost even though you paid the price? How much strength did you lose and it cost you to get it? How much joy did you lose and it cost you to get it? Like I done been through too much to just let it leak out. He said, that's why I'm trying to get your attention. There's a new you that has to emerge who can handle what I'm putting in your bed. But I got to know that my prayer provides fuel for my purpose. It's my prayer that keeps me going. It's the gas in my purpose tank. What are we being fueled by? Fear takes you nowhere. Doubt won't get you around the corner. What are you putting in your tank? I got to learn how to partner with God. I got to make up my mind before I ever start that I'm not going to give up. Daniel prayed for he prayed and fasted for 21 days before he got the answer. You would have stopped at 2 days. You'd have stopped at 3 days. How long will you persist even when you don't see? How long will you pray with the same heart and fervor even though you don't see nothing? The prayer was hindered for 3 weeks. Now the prayer was released, but it was hindered. It was en route, but it was slowed down. You look into heaven like, hey, what's going on? Hey, it didn't left here. But he said, I'm trying to see how bad you want it. I'm trying to see if you're going to call UPS. I'm trying to see if you got a tracking number. I'm trying to see if you're going to look it up. I'm trying to see if you're going to call the vendor you ordered it from. Because sometimes we call ourselves patiently waiting. He said, no, I need you to persistently wait. I need you to turn up the heat on your prayer that if the truck is low, that the truck find its way. If you know the prayer been released. Yeah, I got to call UPS. I got to call to say I'm going by. Hey, when the truck get through for the day, where do they go? I'm going to the station. Because if my stuff is on the truck, it's about to get in my car. How persistent are we for the things of God? If we go in prayer confident, then I have enough confidence to start looking for what I pray for. You don't even have a tracking number. Like, can you track it? You call fussing and whining. Well, yeah, I ordered it and it ain't even here yet. You got the tracking number? Did you look on Amazon? Did you look on UPS? Did you go by the mail? Well, no, I ain't do none of that. So you really don't want it. You don't even know. I mean, at least let me locate where it is. At least let me know it's in Grapevine, Texas. At least let me know it's in Dallas. Let me at least know, hey, it ain't made from heaven. It's just somewhere circling the earth. I just need to know that it's lost in transit, but it's en route. Somewhere. I need to know it's in Katy. It made the station. I need to know it's in Humble. I got to live in more peace to know that it's closer than it was when I prayed last week. It's closer to me than it is to heaven. And then lastly, on this note, he says, not only that, he said, but I want you to start finding others that will agree with you. I said, Lord, what you talking about? He said, because we're trying to force people to agree with us that don't agree. He said, find people that agree with you. Find people that's talking like you talking. Find people that's walking like you are. But we want to be we know that the people by us don't agree with us, but instead of finding people that do agree, I'm going to try to twist your arm and make you agree. And so then that's where we get witchy prayers, because now you praying with me, but you praying something I ain't praying. Anytime you pray against a person's will, it's witchcraft. I done told you I don't want another baby. You've been telling me, Lord, I just believe God for a baby. I just told you I don't want another. I'm telling you to come and agree with me for this and this and that, and you talking about this. But we have to find people that are in the same season we in. When I was talking about Mary Sunday, the angel reminded her of her cousin Elizabeth. Said because she in the same season, even though you were young and she was old, y'all had both been overtaken by the Holy Ghost. You got to be with somebody who walking the walk that you walk. You got to be with somebody that understands what you're talking about, that in the same season that you in. Find somebody that can agree with you by faith. When Esther got in the palace, she realized it was a problem. She had to find people that agreed with her. You didn't have to be in the palace to agree with me. Mordecai was on the outside. Hey, you gather up your people, I'm going to gather up mine in here. I need us to be in agreement on the same thing. Who's in agreement with what God is doing in your life? No, it's a real question. You ought to name 5 people that's in agreement with what God is doing, that you have told them, you have language what God is doing in your life, and they have told you, I'm in agreement with you. Because when somebody's in agreement, then they become a partner. When they become a partner, then they become a co-laborer with you and God to help you birth out. You be on the phone talking about, girl, I'm telling you, and the Lord say he finna do this, and they be like, oh yeah? So you supposed to hang up the phone. Because they telling you right then they're not in agreement. And so now you telling truth to your half brother. Now you telling a vision to somebody that's not even in the family. And they like, And a lot of times we get shot by the bullets we give other people. They ain't just shooting you, they shooting you with the bullets that you gave. Because you talk too much. That's why you got to know who you're in agreement with. That's why you got to be able to tell that's why you got to have discernment that I got to talk about what God is saying, but then I got to be a better listener than talker. I need to know if you're in agreement. I need to hear your amen. I need to see your head nodding. I need you to say, oh, he's doing the same thing to me. Girl, I woke up last night too. Yes, I'm having morning sickness too. If I'm pregnant in this season, I want to be around pregnant folk so we can have pregnant conversation. Honey, have your cravings changed? Yes. Are you sleeping funny? Yes. Are you up all day and night? Yes. All right, well, we talking the same language, but you got to understand there's a problem when I'm pregnant and you not. You want to do normal stuff that I can't do. So this is the hour that he is challenging us to find people. They may not be in your family. They may not be on your street. See, we want comfortable stuff. No, I got to find people that will come into covenant with me. They don't even have to know me. All they have to do is be connected with what's in me. You be in the doctor's office. Y'all just start talking and you say, oh yeah, I'm a dreamer. And the lady go, I am too. Oh my God, y'all can talk for hours. She don't know you. She don't know your mama. She don't know your cousin, but she's connected to what you carry. In this season, I need people that's connected to what I'm carrying. Not to my cousin, not to my auntie, not to what school I went to. I need them to see my future like I see it. Because there's no way you can be around somebody that sees something in you and not push you till they see it. You can't be around nobody that's in agreement with what God is saying about your life and they cool that you live without it. You can't be around nobody that's cool that you don't have the promise. That's cool that the prophecy has not been fulfilled. No, if I'm in agreement with what God is saying about your life, I become your midwife. I'm going to help you push. I'm going to help you birth. I'm going to help you pray. You getting up at 6, I'm getting up at 6. Call me and we're going to pray together. So the question is, who are you talking to? Because here's the reality. People either helping you or they hurting you. Huh? The elevator only go 2 ways. It going up or down. And there's no such thing as that they half agree. I mean, I kind of agree with that now. Okay, go on. Because this is the thing, you got to agree. You got to come into agreement. When you need a breakthrough, you got to find folk that believe like you believe, that can pray like you pray. You don't need nobody praying no little popcorn prayer. You need somebody to get a prayer through. When people call you in the midnight hours because they know or they believe that you can get a prayer through, they could have called anybody, but they know them folk playing in prayer. Huh? And you like, why they call me? Well, hopefully you still on target and can get a prayer through. People know who to call when they really need something. And that's why you get offended when your family members call. Well, they not as crazy as you think because they know how to call you. Child, they'll trip, they crazy. No, they not. They playing crazy. They know who to call. And so the Lord was challenging me. He said, I want you to know that you are on the right side of my will. Even though you're seeing these accidents and you're seeing calamity happen, it's always on the other side of the street. And we'll get tripped up by what we see, but don't rejoice because we're not in it. I got to start rejoicing for the fact that I'm not in. I'm just a bystander looking at it. He said, I'm trying to let you see a visual presentation of what I'm blocking out of your life. You saw the wreck, but you didn't get wrecked. And so he says, in this season, I want you to prepare yourself. We started talking about right thinking and right praying and right living. He said, if you want to get on the right side, you're going to have to make sure that you understand my agenda. You're going to have to make sure that you're praying my heart. You're going to have to make sure you stop settling for second best, even though his best might scare you or take you out of your comfort zone, or you might have to do it with your knees knocking. Stop settling for number 2 when I call you to be number 1. Huh? But then I got to find somebody that can agree with me. But agreement don't look like you think it look. Agreement mean like you better get up and get out the bed. Agreement, we're like, what is you talking about? You better quit whining and complaining. See, we think agreement is like, yeah, go, rah. No, agreement is getting your grill. And see, we got to have some people in our life that can confront us. We got to have some people in our life that can get in our face and challenge us. Now, this is what you told me. You called me and told me that God was getting ready to do X, Y, and Z. So why are you now talking like this? What? And that's why a lot of times we like, that's why I don't tell folk that they just throw it in their face. No, I'm anointed to throw it in your face. Because I'm anointed to keep you on track. And because I have become a covenant partner to what's on the inside of you. And I'm not going to let you abort it. I'm not going to let you miscarry. I'm not going to let you forfeit. So I'm going to be a friendly reminder of what God said. Yeah, I'm the wrong one to tell the dream to, because I'm going to tell the dream back to you. But I'm saying sometimes we get it twisted and we call our friend our enemy and our enemy our friend. The person that will confront you is more of a friend to you than the one that will patty cake you. If I got an assignment to be your midwife and you refusing to give birth, I got a problem because I can't get my check. No, I'm going to get paid. I'm paid to be in your life to help you push. So whether you like it or not, you're going to bear down. And sometimes we don't realize that God has sent people in our life on assignment just for that reason. But what does encouragement look like? Sometimes encouragement look like confrontation. Ask Hannah and Penina. No, encouragement look like I'm going to show you what you living without because I'm tired of you having seconds best. You cool with being barren. No, I'm going to keep showing my baby till you decide to get pregnant. No, I'm going to keep talking about my business till you get mad enough to start yours. No, I'm going to keep talking about my success till you stop living in a land called defeat. I love to be around folk that by the time I get off the phone, I'm like, doggone it, I thought I was working. The devil is a lie. I got to get up and do some other stuff. I need to be around folk that will push me out of my comfort zone. But if you in short places, you feel tall until you get in a tall room. He said, so I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to put your little short self around tall people so you can realize you have a tall conversation, but you got short faith. You're appear tall because everybody you're around is short. They keep coming up short. They keep talking short. They keep shortcutting their way. He said, no, but I'm going to put you in a tall room. But you got to look up. You're forced to look up. Everybody that's talking to you having an up conversation. And they say it all the time. The worst thing you can do is be a giraffe talking to a turtle. Do you know they say that the giraffe, if it bend down to have a conversation with something low, it'll faint. Because his neck has to get out of configuration to try to bend down. He eat high, he don't eat low. And some of us have fainted in the midst of our promise because we've been talking to turtles. We've been talking to short folk who couldn't hear. It's not that they didn't believe, it was the fact that they couldn't see. No, I'm seeing up here, you seeing down there. Everything I say look foreign. And some people we have caused to exit out of our life because they couldn't see. But you got to realize they weren't giraffes, they were turtles. So their vantage point is different. All they see is dirt. All they see is debris. All they see is limbs. They moving slow. They trying to figure out how is she doing all this high talking? How is she doing all this high living? How is she doing all this high? Oh, I didn't realize that we were in the same room, but we were not the same. We're in the same family, but we are not the same. We got the same last name, but we are not the same. No, we go to the same church, but we are not the same. No, my grind is different. My faith is different. My belief is different. My prayer is different. My hustle is different. My work is different. My trust is different. We are not the same. We're in the same jungle, but we ain't the same. So I got to find some people. So there's some giraffes that's going to come run up on some turtles. There's some giraffes that's getting ready to start talking. They're going to force you to look up. They're going to force you to see something different. They're going to stretch your vision. They're going to stretch your sight. They're going to stretch your vision. Because there's more. What do you do when you realize that there is more? What do you do when you realize I've just been settling for second best? I've just been settling to live like this. I've just been settling to be out of order. I've been settling for things to be out of place when God showed you that there is something more. What do you do about it? And so he told me, and it's a very familiar passage. He said, listen, before this year's out, he said, I'm trying to do an Isaiah 43 on them. I'm trying to show them, I'm trying to get them to look. I'm trying to get them to change their focus. I'm trying to get them to see something different. You want to see it in January, but I need you to see it now. January is going to be too late. December 31st is just a date. But Isaiah 43, you know it, a very familiar passage. He says, thus saith the Lord, which maketh a way in the sea and the path in the mighty waters, which bringeth forth the chariot and horse, the army and the power. They shall lie down together. They shall not rise. They are extinct. They are quenched as tow. This is 16 through 21 in the King James Version. Isaiah 43, 16 through 21. And then he says, remember ye not. We start walking down memory lane. We should have did something. We start regretting stuff. We start looking back and pondering, well, what if I would have did this? And if I'd have did that different? What if I'd have said that? Isaiah 43, 16 through 21. 18, that's the verse you know. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, look, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? How in the world it's going to spring up and I'm going to miss it? How is it going to shoot up before me and I miss it? He said, that's why I'm telling you to look. I'm doing something new. I'm trying to put focus. And what happens is when we're focusing on more than what God wants us to focus on, it's called fractured focus. When you're trying to multitask and he's trying to get you to be singular focused, it's called, so your focus is broken now. Because I'm looking at this and I'm looking at that. You on a Zoom call, but you in the kitchen cooking. You ain't heard nothing. You heard bits and pieces, but you ain't heard everything. You talking to your children and you talking on the phone. I'm like, hello? Oh, what you said? What you said? Because your focus is fractured. And some of us think that we are really hearing God. No, we're not. Because God is talking, and so it's to not be a distraction. You have fractured my focus when I came with my mind on him. And you nudging me, telling me, did I cook today? Devil, girl. In the middle of service, God trying to talk to me, and you being used by Satan. Tell me, did I cook? But guess what? It was at that moment that a word, a revelation was coming to you, and the enemy said, I got to distract her focus. If she hear this breakthrough coming, break it. Hey, did you cook them red beans like you said? And at that moment, you went, huh? And that word went right over your head. And you have fractured focus. He said, remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things that old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. The beasts of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls, because I give waters in the desert and rivers. I give waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert to give drink to my people. He said, I know you thirsty. I know you've been in a dry land, and I'm getting ready to be a need meter, but you can't miss your moment because your focus is distracted. This people I have formed for myself, they shall show forth my praise. He said, I haven't changed my mind about you. He said, but we got to hit the reset button. Somewhere between January and now, you have missed your moment. Somewhere between January and now, your focus has been fractured. There's some things that have been broken and you're not seeing like you used to see. You're not hearing like you used to hear. So I need you to make a conscious decision that you'll forget those things that are behind you. And what we don't realize, when he challenges us to do that, he's not just saying the bad things, he's saying the good stuff too. Because sometimes we can praise a victory that we'll never be able to enjoy another one. Because we'll think that's the best he can do. And he said, you think that's something, I got more. But you keep telling that same old story when I'm trying to give you a new one. You keep testifying from 1995 when I'm trying to give you a 2022 testimony. He said, so the first thing you got to do is change your focus. Quit looking behind and start looking ahead. Stop talking about what was and talk about what shall be. Forget the former things. Stop dwelling on the past. And guess what? They had many victories. They left Egypt. They had conquered the promised land. They were fighting giants. They had survived a lot. They had seen God do much. He said, but forget it, because what I'm about to do cannot compare to what has been done. Can you imagine your best day? He's saying, make that your worst day. Because I'm trying to do something new. He said, you cannot depend on your past victories to sustain you. Not in this season. Now, you can't keep saying what you always said. What got you here is not going to get you there. I'm stretching you. I'm enlarging your capacity. I shouldn't have to move you closer to the wall so you can look tall. I should be able to put you in the big space and you stand tall instead of looking tall. You ought to get tired of looking tall and just be tall. No, y'all. You got to understand now, he's talking to people that were in captivity. They just saying, listen, man, we just trying to get back home. We just trying to get to the place of peace. He said, but I need to remind you that your past victories are not going to help you in this season. He said, but guess what? Not your past failure is not going to help you. You're not going to be able to whine and complain and that you blew it and you need another chance. He said, forgetting those things. Because look at this. He reminds them. He said, you remember you wanted a temple? I gave you the temple and you turned into idol worship. I gave you what you wanted. You said, Lord, we need a place to worship. And before you know it, you start building graven images. You start worshiping other stuff. And that's why we got to be careful what we ask for, because we'll turn it into something that is not. He said, you asked for the truth, I gave it to you, and you proclaim lies. I sent prophets to declare the truth, and it was easier for you to believe the lie than stand on my word. Oh, y'all not saying nothing. He said, you wanted commandments, you wanted a way to do things, and you took my commands as suggestions. Casey, come down here and wash the dishes. She's suggesting that I'm saying come down when she feel like it. That come down meant right now. It ain't mean right now, it meant right now. It mean do it in a hurry. But how many things did he tell you to do and you took it as a suggestion and not a command? He told you, I need you to meet me in prayer every morning. You thought he was saying if you feel like it. And so you kept waking up the same hour, but you didn't realize why you was waking up. You were waking up because you was being disobedient. You was waking up because I have commanded you to come in prayer. So I'm going to disrupt your sleep at that hour, whether you get up or not. Somebody just say, ouch. Because a command is a command. It's not a suggestion. I'm not saying if you feel like it. I'm not saying if it's convenient. I'm saying if I say do it, the anointing is on the instructions. And some of us have missed meetings with God. I mean, you can miss a meeting with your boss, but you missed a meeting with God. He told you to meet me at 4 a.m. and you thought it was a suggestion. Like, oh, that sound good. You told people, but you never did it. Girl, God told me to meet him, but you never met him. He said, you asked for wealth, I gave it to you, and you used it to abuse the poor. I gave you a little money, you started looking down on folk. I gave you a little bit more than your paycheck, you start walking different. I let one of them checks hit your bank and you was like, ooh. Because he realizes if I can't trust you with the little and I give you more, we're gonna have a problem. And so we don't even realize he's trying to trust us with the 100 before he give you 10,000. He's trying to trust you with 10,000 before he give you 100,000. Because many of us, if we got more, we would destruct faster. Because all you need is a little bit more money to cut up real bad. Be at the Galleria, y'all will be across the Sabine. Oh, y'all be buying tickets and stuff. Y'all be in one Rainbow Out, Ross, Marshalls. And that's why I say, so you got to be careful what you ask for, because I'm not looking for your character to change when you get it. And he say, some of y'all, when they be saved, you got nipped and tucked. Come on out of here. Then he said, you even asked for me. I showed up and you rejected me. You hollered my name. You wanted my attention. I gave it to you. I gave you me. You didn't want me. I showed up. You called him. Y'all not saying nothing. He said, so I need you to change your bad. I know some of us have missed the mark. If we be honest, we blew it. God gave us a chance. We messed it up. Doors were open and we was too scared to. What has happened? Oh, you know how we do, Lord. Open the door, the door swing open like. The devil is a lie. See that? The devil trying to trick me. I thought you just told God to open the door. So he says, I want you in this the new year, but you'll be running into the new year. He says, but after you do that, he says, I don't want you to just change your focus. I want you to clarify it. Be clear. Know what you're seeing. Recognize it. Acknowledge it. Have a greater awareness and understanding.